ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಇನ್ನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಸರ್. ಇದು ಓದ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್. ಇದು ನಾನು ಕೇಳಿದ ಸರ್. The Doyen Professor R Ramanna, a tribute. ನಾನು ಬರೆದಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. Professor Ramanna's acumen as a teacher, researcher, administrator. Professor R Ramanna and the Department of Agricultural Economics at the University of Agricultural Sciences, Bengaluru are synonymous. Agricultural Economics as a discipline at UAS was born in 1964 with Sri Balachaudaya and Sri Ramanna as lecturers. You ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ, ಕುರ್ಚಿ ಕೊಡಿ.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಬೇಡ ಬೇಡ
ತುಂಬ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. ಕುರ್ಚಿ ಕೊಡಿ. The subject matter of agricultural economics received a great fillip with the participation of Professor Erwin J. Long and Professor Baden-Hope visiting from USA during 1958 to 1962 on an international exchange program. In recognition of their teaching skills, Sri R. Ramanna and Sri Balachaudaya were recommended by Professor Erwin Long for a fellowship to pursue master's degree in agricultural economics at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. With the sponsorship from Agricultural Development Council. This was the first milestone, a turning point for the department in the journey towards academic excellence. Upon the completion of Professor Ramanna's master's program in Tennessee, USA, and a doctoral program at the Indian Agricultural Research Institute, New Delhi, the department began operating the master's degree program from 1968 and the doctoral program from 1976 under the leadership of Professor R. Ramanna for more than 2 decades. Thanks to his commitment as an excellent teacher, human resource developer, and institution builder, the programs won national and international acclaim. Professor Ramanna retired as the Dean of the University and also finally as its officiating Vice Chancellor. Professor Ramanna, human qualities par excellence. If students and admirers of Professor Ramanna remember him and revere him so deeply at the age of 94, it is because of his profound personal qualities of moral values, manners, integrity, honesty, discipline, superior communication skills, and solid commitment to equity, efficiency, and the social and academic growth and development of every student and learner. Professor Ramanna, student and learner. Professor Ramanna, work is worship. Professor Ramanna was a very popular teacher, attracting, inspiring, and empowering students with a strong foundation in the theory and practice of the science of agricultural economics. His secrets of teaching included: 1. Serious preparation for every class. 2. Punctuality in taking classes and not missing any. 3. Perfect clarity in teaching and impressive handwriting on the board, especially of graphs and curves. Lucid expression and erudition with emphasis on recapitulation and illustrations and examples to ensure that every law student understood the concepts. 4. Always neatly dressed in a suit and academic demeanor. 4. A serious disposition whether inside and outside the classroom. Memorable teaching incidents. Teaching was Professor Ramanna's passion. He took it seriously, presenting himself as the best teacher in agricultural economics and motivating undergraduate students to pursue graduate studies in the discipline. Professor Ramanna would never miss undergraduate teaching, as he strongly believed that it was there that he would mold the mind and attract the best talents at the postgraduate level. Professor Ramanna's erudite teaching with the simultaneous freehand drawing of graphs and curves with ease, while students were still struggling to get the graphs right, was a usual experience. Graduate students took pride in being part of Professor Ramanna's department. Professor Ramanna used to often remark that the university is not built of bricks and mortar, but of quality teachers, students and researchers, and the students are the ambassadors of the university.
That's true.
Professor Ramanna handled diverse courses invariably commencing from the basic course of Agriculture Economics 101, Introductory Agriculture Economics. He strongly believed that the introductory course has to be taught by the senior most teacher. Every student considered it a rare privilege to attend the lecture and learn in pin drop silence. Concerned about the status of the agricultural economics discipline in the country, one of the significant quotes for Professor Ramanna was that of Professor Ashby, Director, Institute of Research in Agricultural Economics, University of Oxford, who visited India in 1949-50 pertaining to the sad neglect of agricultural economics. So, you quote sir, having regard to the area of agricultural land, be the size of the agricultural population, the importance of agriculture in the national economy, its actual and potential contributions to national wealth, I am appalled at the small provision made for investigation and research in agricultural economics. Recognizing that India is a relatively poor country, it is still true that in comparison with other applied sciences of agriculture, agricultural economics has been starved. Professor Ramanna was responsible for the preparation of the background material and the syllabus for the BSc Agricultural Marketing and Cooperation degree program for submission to Indian Council of Agricultural Research by Professor H.R. Alkeri, the then Vice Chancellor. Professor Ramanna never failed to invite prominent scholars for the benefit of students. For example, Professor Nimal Sandratne, Professor Agricultural Economics, University of Pennsylvania, Sri Lanka, Professor G. Timaya, Institute for Social and Economic Change, Professor C.H. Hanumantarao, Institute of Economic Growth, Professor Ram Iqbal Singh, Kanpur, Professor T.D. Nagabhushanam, APAU, Professor Hans Peter Binswanger, ICRISAT, Professor Glenn Johnson, University of Michigan, and Professor Muralidharan, Indian Agricultural Research Institute, New Delhi, to name a few. Seminar participation. Student seminar presentations drew full attendance as Professor Ramanna always conducted them himself with seriousness, making sure the students were well prepared. Discussion among the faculty and final remarks by Professor Ramanna were an academic treat. For postgraduate students, seminar presentations were treated with further seriousness, often more seriously than the regular classes. Emphasis in different courses. Professor Ramanna used to impress upon students the importance of the two economic laws governing production, that is, the law of diminishing marginal returns, and B, consumption, that is, the law of diminishing marginal utility. While teaching the law of diminishing marginal returns, Professor Ramanna would explain, if supposing the law of diminishing marginal returns were not to operate, then it would mean practically that the entire world's production of any crop could be produced on just an acre of land by a farmer. While teaching law of diminishing marginal utility, Professor Ramanna would explain, if supposing the LDMU were not to operate, then if a consumer loves mango, it would mean practically that this consumer would always consume only mango for his or her whole life, without any other food preference. Farmers can always postpone LDMR with the injection of capital into farming. The capital injection ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Capital has to be injected to postpone the operation of law of diminishing marginal returns. Explaining the paradox of plenty and the Brannan plan, Professor Ramanna emphasized that a good harvest does not necessarily ensure good total revenue, as prices fall due to shifts in supply. Thus, the large output does not ensure large total revenue for the farmer and results in inability of the farmer to adjust to changing price situations. Therefore, Senator Brennan made a proposal to United States Congress to make farm prices fully free but provide cash subsidies to American farmers when prices were too low, protecting farmers with assured or guaranteed prices for farm produce, while consumers enjoy the benefit of low farm prices and government makes up the difference. Professor Ramanna's famous quote in the course on economic development was, "Poverty anywhere is a threat to prosperity everywhere." Poverty anywhere is a threat to prosperity everywhere. And students would always remember this as a strong message to reckon with. While discussing the Keynesian model of development, the Keynesian multiplier, Professor Ramanna used to explain Why the Keynesian plant does not grow well in developing countries? Why the Keynesian plant does not grow well in developing countries? ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಅದು ಸರಿ ಬೆಳೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. Given K is equal to inverse of the marginal propensity to save or 1 minus MPC, the multiplier would increase with the marginal propensity to consume. In developing countries like India, marginal propensity to consume is impressively high at 0.6 or above. That is, out of every rupee added to income, more than 0.6 rupee or 60% is spent on additional consumption. The multiplier effect is not observable since the additional consumption due to additional income is made up of basic necessities such as basic or primary food articles, which do not generate as much income and employment as secondary processed food articles as in developed countries. Governance, administration, department, university. Faculty recruitment, faculty capacity building and encouragement to the young students and faculty were the hallmarks of Professor Ramanna's governance. His vision was to build a strong center of excellence in agricultural economics at UAS Bengaluru and provide quality human resources outside in India and globally. In his time, there were 35 faculty in agricultural economics in different wings of the university. During the 8 years of the inception of UAS, the official work day used to be either 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Professor Ramanna invariably used to come to the office at 8 a.m. and return home by 6 p.m., staying extra hours for the sake of the students, faculty and teaching, research and administration. This meant he sacrificed time with his family and home cooked food during the entire period of his service. Professor Ramanna, who was often invited to be an examiner or member of selection committees, would utilize his precious time during 2 to 3 day long train journeys to correct or edit student theses and final drafts. You trainally correct ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ. Professor Donald Taylor, associate of the Agricultural Development Council USA, visited the department for 3 years from 1968 to 1971 and offered courses for the master's students. Professor Ramanna was responsible for recommending the names of faculty to Professor Taylor, who provided opportunities to Sri J.V. Venkatram in the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, to N.S.P. Rebello in the University of Tennessee, Knoxville, to Sri Bisalaya in the University of Minnesota to pursue PhD studies in the USA. Karmatula. ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಸರ್ ನಾವು ಕರ್ಮತುಲ್ಲಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳು ಸರ್ ಬರ್ತ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ. Sri Karmatullah to proceeded to pursue master's degree program at American University of Beirut. Sri K.C. Ramat and A. Krishnamurthy received a sponsorship in the exchange program to carry on master's and doctoral students studies in agricultural economics respectively at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. I will warn you, there is either a mistake is there, mistake in India. The late Professor Rebello contributed to production economics and monitoring and evaluation. Professor Venkatram contributed to the field of agricultural finance and cooperation. Dr. Venkatram became the Director of Instruction of Postgraduate Studies at the university. Professor Bisalaya and Professor Chengappa occupied the position of Vice Chancellor of UAS Bangalore. Dr. G.K. Raman became the first student to receive the ICR Junior Fellowship in Agricultural Economics. Dr. Mrutyunjaya, the first rank holder in Bachelor's Degree Program in Agriculture from the Agriculture College and winner of the Jawaharlal Nehru Award for the best PhD thesis from ICR, rose to the position of National Director NAIP in ICR. In 1987, Dr. M.G. Chandrakant was recommended by Professor Ramanna for training in forest and resource economics at the University of California, Berkeley. Dr. Chandrakant became the first Indian to receive the seriously matter postdoctoral fellowship at Berkeley 1988 to 90 and rose to the position of the Director of the Institute for Social and Economic Change, Bangalore. Dr. K.B. Umesh and Dr. N. Nagaraj were recipients of the Jawaharlal Nehru Award for the best PhD thesis in agricultural economics. Professor Mallikarjunaya, N.S.P. Rebello, Shankar Murthy, G.S. Chandrasekhar, Rangnath Shastri, Nanja Reddy and G.K. Raman ably supported the department in teaching and research. ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ ಸರ್?
ಸರಿ, ಬಟ್ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು?
ಇರಲಿ ಸರ್, ಇರಲಿ. ತಮ್ಮ ಅಂಬ್ರಲಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬೆಳೆದ್ರು.
ಇದೆಲ್ಲನೂ ಹೇಳಿ ಹಾಕಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ತಾವು ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ.
ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ಸರಿ, ಬಟ್ ಇದು ಓದ್ದವರು ಹಾಗಂತ್ಕೋತಾರೆ. ರಾಮಣ್ಣ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿ ಹಾಕ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಇಲ್ಲ
ಸರ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ. Research and guidance. Professor Ramanna's research guidance was largely to prepare good researchers rather than good research per se. His research contributions have largely been through the research guidance of his master's doctoral students, as he devoted his time, efforts and energy to teaching and guidance, which was the need of the hour in the initial stage of building the department. The research focus can broadly be categorized into farm management, crop economics, economics of irrigation, macroeconomic studies and agricultural marketing. The empirical focus of all his research is on training the students in primary data collection from farmers in order that the student is able to pen their thesis with a palpable feeling of the grassroots circumstances. These studies also educate the reader regarding the economic historical situation of the time, largely during the Green Revolution period. Macroeconomic studies. The module proposed to consume for area Arkanet farmers of Karnataka was estimated at rupees 28.28, that is 28 paise. Through small large farmers spent, those small large farmers spent 54%, 32% of the total consumption expenditure. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಮ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇದೆ ಸರ್, ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇರಿಗೇಷನ್ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫೋಟೋ ಹಾಕಿದೆ. ಇಷ್ಟು ಇದೆ ಸರ್. ಇದು ತಮ್ಮ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬರ್ದಿರೋದು. ಇದು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇರೋದು ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗೈಡೆಡ್ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ ಸರ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮೃತ್ಯುಂಜಯ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಇದೆ. ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್. ಇವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬುಕ್ಗೆ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋರು ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಮೃತ್ಯುಂಜಯ ಅವ್ರ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಇದು accelerating growth and enhancing competitiveness in the agriculture sector of Karnataka, economic valuation of plant genetic resources, Ramanna, use of soils information for profitability and sustainability, farmer producer organizations, S.C. Ramesh Kumar and Rajendra Hegde, the saga of research in water resource economics, Chandrakant, Kiran Kumar Patil, Anita and Lokesh, key issues in facing irrigation sector in Karnataka, N. Nagaraj. Watershed development program in Karnataka, H. Chandrasekharan. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಟ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ, ಉಮೇಶ್ ಹಂಸ ಅಂಡ್ ವಿಜಯಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ಅಂತ. ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಕಮೋಡಿಟೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ, ಶೋಭಾ ಅಂಡ್ ಅನಿಲ್ ಕುಮಾರ್ ಅಂತ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಇತ್ತೀಚಿನ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಹಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಡ್ರೈವಿಂಗ್ ಹೈ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಇನ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ, ಟಿ.ಎಂ. ಗಜಾನನ, ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ್ ಮೂರ್ತಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಸುಧಾ ಮೈಸೂರು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ರೆಟ್ರಾಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇನ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ, ಸುರೇಶ್ ಹೊನ್ನಪ್ಪ ಗೋಡ್, ರೇಷ್ಮಾ ಲಲಿತ ಚೋತ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕರ್ಮತುಲ್ಲಾ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸಸ್ಟೈನಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಮೆರಿನ್ ಫಿಶರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ, ಗುಣಕರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ಭಟ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಪಾಲಿಸೀಸ್ ಸೆಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ನ್ಯೂ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆ ಶೀರ್ಷಿಕೆ ಒಳಗೆ ಈಸ್ ದರ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಿಟಿ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಕನ್ಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಅಂಡ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ, ಚಿನ್ನಪ್ಪರೆಡ್ಡಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಸನ್ನ ಕುಮಾರ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ರೂರಲ್ ಪಾವರ್ಟಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಇನ್ಇಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಇನ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಬೈ H. ಶಿವಣ್ಣ ಅಂಡ್ ವೇದಮೂರ್ತಿ. और वाइस चांसलर शिवಣ್ಣ. ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಇನ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ, LK ಅತಿಕ್ ಅವರು ಸರ್, IAS ಅವರು. ಹಿ ಈಸ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರಿಲೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಯುವರ್ ಬುಕ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೇಲಿ. ಅವರು ಹಿ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಅಡಿಷನಲ್ ಚೀಫ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಫೈನಾನ್ಸ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಚೀಫ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ಗೆ ಅಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಸರ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಅವರು. ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ MSc ಮಾಡೋದು LK ಅತಿಕ್ ಅಂತ, ಅವರು IAS ಮಾಡೋದು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಜಿ ಆಫ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಟು ಅಚೀವ್ ಆಸ್ಪಿರೆಂಟ್ ಸಸ್ಟೈನಬಲ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಗೋಲ್ಸ್, ಶಾಲಿಂದಿ ರಜನೀಶ್ ಅವರು IAS ಸರ್. She is Additional Chief Secretary. ಆಮೇಲೆ effective teaching and learning system in economics by Dr. S. Bisalaya. Agricultural technologies towards sustainable future, A.V. Manjunath and Devika. Secondary agriculture boosting the rural economy in India by P.G. Chengappa, A.V. Manjunath and Devika. Strengthening the institutional mechanism of agricultural credit by T. Muralidharan. ಆಮೇಲೆ effective supply chain management for agro industry by Rajan and K. Saran Kumar. In students. Data analysis and agricultural transformation, a potential disruptor by LK Atik, Ramrao Venkatesh, MT Rajshekhar and Jagdish Kumar. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ 2030 ಬೈ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಬೈ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಮೃತ್ಯುಂಜಯ. ಇದು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಸರ್. ಒಟ್ಟು ಇದು 353 ಪೇಜ್ ಇದೆ ವಿತ್ ಫಿಗರ್ಸು ಮತ್ತು ಗ್ರಾಫ್ಸು. Sir, ಇದು published by Taylor and Francis, sir, ಇದು.
French publisher.
Sir, ಇದು published by Europe. ಇದು ನೋಡಿ sir. Taylor and Francis, so London and New York. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬರುತ್ತೆ sir. So, sir, you will be happy to know that you are the professor, living longest living professor of agriculture economics, contributing significantly, substantially, in a profound manner to the subject matter of agriculture economics in Agriculture University, and we, the students, are have written this book for you as a tribute for you, all of your contributions.
Thank you. In fact, of course, what people say, the fame, the strength of the teacher lies in the students.
Thank you, sir. That is your greatness and your humility. And ಇದುವರೆಗೂ ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡಿದಿರಾ, ಒಬ್ಬರು ಹತ್ರ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ ನೀವು.
ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ದಂತ ಯಾವುದು
ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ.
They have come up on their own
ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಯಾವ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ನು ಕೇಳಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವ ಏನು ಯಾರನ್ನೂ ಕೇಳಲಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ನೀವು.
Of course, ಅದೇನೋ ಸರಿ,
so
it has come to me on its own, without my asking for it.
Yes, sir. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು I thought I will bring ತಮ್ಮ ಗಮನಕ್ಕೆ ತರೋಣ ಅಂತ ಇದು. So we are grateful to you, sir, and please
I must be grateful to you.
Please bless us, all the students, all of your students require your blessing, and we all wish you to live 100 years and more for the fraternity of agriculture economics in India, in US, Bangalore, and the world. ನೀವೇನಾದ್ರು ಹೇಳೋದಿದೆಯಾ ಸರ್? ಯು ವುಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಟು ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಇಂಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿ ಬುಕ್? ಯು ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿ ಬುಕ್? ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್ ನಿಮಗೆ?
The name and the fame of the teacher is distributed throughout by his students.
Yes, sir. Yes. And the sacrifices you made for the department, the sacrifices you made for the building the human resource, and in all of us, it is an opportunity for us to remember with gratitude your contributions.
ನನ್ನ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಏನು? It is all because of the students.
Thank you, sir. That is your humility and greatness.
The name of the teacher, the fame of the institution depends upon how it is spread through his students.
Students, correct, correct. And your blessings are required for us. ನೀವು ಏನಾದ್ರು ಜ್ಞಾಪಿಸ್ಕೋತ ಸರ್? ಡು ಯು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, ಡು ಯು ವಿಶ್ ಟು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ in this regard?
ಅಂತ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. I only wish the name and fame of the department spreads widely through his students.
Correct. And thank you, sir. Thank you.
ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸಾಕು.
Thank you, sir.